Welcome back to my cozy little library this morning. The rain has calmed down a little bit. I waited to make sure that you could hear me over the rain, but I have a great spring TBR / April TBR book haul to share with you. A well-rounded stack of 10. I say well-rounded because they cover many genres, and I don't know about you, but I am a very atmospheric seasonal reader. I can read at any time, but I prefer to really jump into the season that's in a book. That just takes the fun to a whole nother level, and I'm very excited about this list. So let's get started. Just a little disclaimer. If you've been around here for any length of time, you know that I exclusively read clean reads and Christian fiction. I don't have the bandwidth to read steamy, spicy romance or language or gory stuff that's stressful. I read to enjoy and escape, and I felt a calling to start this channel to give some more ideas for people who want to do the same. So none of these am I recommending because I haven't read them yet. They are a TBR for April. All right, our first three are classics. Jane of Lantern Hill by L.M. Montgomery, of course the author of Anne of Green Gables. This just looks super springy. I heard that it was. I've never read it before, so I'm excited to read this classic. Jane Stewart grows up with her mom and her grandmother, and supposedly she had always thought that her dad had passed away, but she finds out that he did not, and she goes to spend the summer at his cottage on Prince Edward Island. Sounds awesome. Also by L.M. Montgomery, The Blue Castle. This one is a little bit drearier and darker, it seems. It's about Valency, who is already 29 and she's unmarried. Y'all know about the history. When a woman gets past a certain age, she's ancient because she's not married in that time period, right? She lives with her overbearing mother and aunt, and her only consolation are these forbidden books. And she ends up at the Blue Castle, a place where all her dreams come true and she can truly be who she wants to be. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It's been a really long time since I have read this, and I wanted to join in. I heard that it's Alcott April, and I heard Bookish Princess talking about the Alcott April readathon. She said that Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia is the one that created that tag or that readathon. This is Alcott's most famous work, of course, about the March sisters, and I'm really looking forward to reading this again. And I found on Libby that I could listen to the audiobook for free as I read, and I'm just looking forward to that. Now our two nonfictions, starting with this beauty, In the Lord I Take Refuge, 150 Daily Devotions Through the Psalms. This is just gorgeous. It's a Crossway book, and I was looking for a book, a devotional to do in the mornings during this season. I'm going to take this off so you can see the hardcover itself. You'll notice I forget to mention, but in past videos, I love covers like this. I think they're beautiful, but when I'm reading a book, I love to just read in the hardcover itself, and I love it when it does have some decoration on it so that it's not super plain. So I probably will not keep that cover, but it's new, that's why it's still on there. But what I've been doing is going through and reading the actual psalm first, and then reading it in here, so it's a little repetition, and then there's a little commentary there by this author, and it's been really nice. It's a quick read, and so far I have really enjoyed it. Now I memorize really well when I can, again, do that repetition. Here's my beautiful little journal. If the whole psalm will not fit on one page, I just summarize what really stood out to me or my favorite parts. Some of them, though, do fit on here, and I love, and I look forward to it. So just a little idea there. And our other nonfiction is Beatrix Potter's Gardening Life, The Plants and Places That Inspired the Classic Children's Tales. Now, if that sounds familiar, in the last video, this same author is the one that wrote The Plants and Places That Inspired Frances Hodgson Burnett to write The Secret Garden. So this is about Beatrix Potter, and she is a writer and an illustrator as well. I love the backstory on these writers, on these authors. So this looks really, really interesting, and I can't wait to check that out. Next, we have a couple of historical fiction. The first one is Fairest of Heart by Karen Whitmire. This is my first book of hers, and it is the #1 book in the Texas Ever After series. And this is about Penelope Snow. Apparently, she is so beautiful that it has caused her a lot of problems so far. She becomes the personal maid to a famous actress that is getting a little mature, and Penelope has to make sure to hide her beauty. That's what she's being told will help her fare the best. Now, this is what I've heard, a fairy tale retelling of Snow White. Get it? Can you tell this looks like Snow White? Fairest of Heart. And then her name is Penelope Snow. So also, I have never read a Christian historical fiction that's a Western Texas theme, cowboy, whatever. I think that's what this is. So I'm really interested to see how I like this. Other historical romance, not classified as Christian, like Fairest of Heart is, but it's just a clean historical romance, supposedly. This time I'm reading Heir to Edenbrooke, which is the prequel to Edenbrooke. And I talked about Edenbrooke in the past 2 videos. I reviewed and rated it last time, and I won't spoil where it came in the ranking, but I'm excited to read Heir to Edenbrooke. It is supposed to be just a 50-page or so little prequel in the back, and I'll just say I'm obsessed with Edenbrooke, the main story, so I'm very excited to read the prequel of our male main character and see how he got to where he was in the main story. Very, very excited about this one. All right, let's talk about some fun contemporary Christian romance. The Skymar series. There are 3 books in the series. I got an advanced reader copy of Loyally Luke, which is #3 in the series. Well, I had not read Authentically Izzy yet, nor Positively Penelope, so that's what I'm trying to do. I got finished with Izzy, and then this is standing in for Mr. Luke because it's where I read my ebooks, and I didn't want to forget him. And this month, I'm going to read Positively Penelope and then move on to Luke. But she is fresh out of college, and she's been awarded a paid internship to help save a century-old theater on the island of Skymar. Everything isn't what it seems. When she gets there, she has a lot of challenges, but of course, there's a love interest. She's supposed to be a hoot as well. And then let's pretend like this is Loyally Luke, which is book #3, like I said. And Luke is a flannel-wearing man's man who finds himself living out all the rom-com movie tropes as he falls in love with a true blue princess. And then last but not least, our middle grade is the mysterious Benedict Society. Now, I had never heard about this, but Lindsay from BFCG has gone on and on about this series being her favorite or one of her favorites of her childhood, and she said it was so good. I actually have started this, and I found the audiobook, I think, on Libby to listen to it for free, and already, like, I'm hooked. I have to know. And I think there are 4 books in this series, and they're all kind of chunky like this. And then there's a couple add-on books that go with it as well. But it looks like a lot of fun. It's supposed to be about a peculiar ad that's in the newspaper, and a kid ends up finding out about it. But it's a very quirky situation that he finds himself in, having to go and take some mysterious mind-bending test in order to go through to the next level. Some kids get to go on a secret mission or something, so it looks like so much fun. So, the Mysterious Benedict Society, Loyally Luke, Positively Penelope, Heir to Edenbrooke, Fairest of Heart, Beatrix Potter in the Garden, the Book of Psalms, Little Women, The Blue Castle, and Jane of Lantern Hill. As always, there will be a detailed review of all of these on Goodreads. I'll also have a wrap-up video coming soon. I would love to know which of these is your favorite if you've read them, or if you have a suggestion that you would like to share in the comments of your favorite atmospheric, clean spring read. Hope this was helpful. Until next time.